네, 제2차 아셈 노인인권 현실과 대안 포럼이 잠시 후에 시작될 예정입니다. 네, 지금 모두 착석해 주시면 감사드리겠습니다. 오늘 포럼은 아셈 글로벌 에이징 센터 유튜브 채널을 통해서 실시간으로 중계가 되는데요. 행사가 진행되는 동안 실시간 채팅을 이용하실 때에는 타인에 대한 저속한 표현이나 비방을 자제해 주시길 바라며 위반 시에는 강제 퇴장을 될 수 있음을 양해 부탁드립니다. The second ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Person is about to begin. Well, the forum is currently being broadcasted live through our YouTube channel of ASEM Global Aging Center. When using the live chat function during the event, please refrain from making vulgar expressions or slander towards others. And please understand that in case of violation, you will be forced to leave. As we are about to begin, please stay tuned. Thank you very much. Good morning from Korea. Welcome to the second ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Persons. My name is Shin-Ji-ye, and it's an honor for me to preside over this forum today. Well, this forum is currently being broadcasted live through our YouTube channel to welcome participants from all around the world to join us despite of this COVID-19 situation. Well, so thank you all the speakers and the participants joining us from all around the world on and offline to attend this meaningful event. To first give you a brief rundown of our forum, this forum was organized in order to discuss the issues related to the human rights of the older persons. And also we are to seek ways to better protect and also promote their rights as well. And we are joined by many diverse stakeholders from all around the world, including the ASEM countries and also the relevant government ministries, international organizations such as the ASEM, ASEAN, EU, and WHO, and also the international NGOs, notably the Help Age International, Help Age Korea, and also the Age Platform Europe, and not only the national human rights organizations, but also the academia are joining us today. So under the theme of human rights and mental emotional health of older persons, the forum will be having 4 sessions over the 2 days starting today until tomorrow. The topic of the session number 1 is human rights and mental emotion health of older persons, current status and response. And session 2 will be a civil society talk concert under the topic of sharing and exploring right-based community building practice, bringing together the representative of major international civil society organizations related to the human rights of older persons. And in session 3, this will be a discussion on diverse measures of ASEM government against the loneliness under the topic of addressing loneliness from governmental perspective. And session 4 is a special session with WHO to discuss the social isolation and loneliness among older persons. So having introduced all of our topics that will be dealt throughout the 2 days, let's now commence the forum by watching the opening video. Yes, if you're ready to join our movement in promoting the mental and emotional health for the older people, please give a big round of applause. Yes, thank you very much. And now I think we're ready to fully dive into the second ASEM Forum on Human Rights of Older Persons. In order to do so, it's my honor to invite to the stage Executive Director Eun-Hee of ASEM Global Aging Center to deliver her welcome speech. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Executive Director Eun-Hee of ASEM Global Aging Center. And first of all, I'd like to thank Chairperson Doo-Hwan of National Human Rights Commission and Ambassador Maria Castillo Fernandez of Delegation of European Union to the Republic of Korea for co-organizing this event. And my special thanks go to former Speaker Sang-Hee Kim of National Assembly, as well as Foreign Affairs and Unification Committee at the National Assembly. And I'd like to sincerely extend my gratitude to Professor Diego D. Leo of Emeritus Professor of Psychiatry of Griffith University and Professor Eun-Hee of Ewha Women's University for your upcoming keynote speech. And my special thanks go to all the online participants. AJC before in the previous meeting in 2018, it was approved, and AGAC was aiming to promote this theme. So information sharing and education projects have been carried out by AJC. So human rights of elderly forum have been held together, and WHO and with major organizations reports were translated, and issue-focused issues related to human rights of the elderly. So we have been sharing models, and also we are strengthening cooperation with organizations, and also UN agreement has been promoted by us, and we also taking part in many campaigns. So local communities, municipalities, and NPO have been communicated to promote the human rights of the elderly, and we are carrying a project for information sharing. And such governance will be a solution to solving issues regarding the elderly and its human rights. The theme of this forum is human rights and mental emotional health of older persons. As you saw before, the situation is very worse, but mental health in the elderly is regarded as just natural thing as we get older, and it has been overlooked sometime. So mental and emotional health issues of elderly persons could lead to death alone and depression as well as dementia. But the severity has not been yet well identified. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic and containment, isolation, loneliness has been intensified, which increases worries regarding the elderly's emotional health. So regarding isolation and loneliness, there has been a report. So loneliness and isolation would cause a severe impact on their health. So related reports have been released. So it's been highlighting the importance of social support. So we AGAC with academia and civil society and many experts, we have invited them to talk about three themes today. First is Asia, European issues regarding the emotional and mental health of older persons. And second is sharing and exploring right-based community building practices. So practices and policies will be discussed at the second session, and at the third session, there are many reasons to cause isolation of the elderly, including loneliness. So we are going to talk about how to raise people's awareness and how to promote the issue. And as our MC mentioned before, we are going to have 3 sessions. And through today's forum, what I want to share is that the quality of life should be improved based on mental and emotional health of older persons, and we need to put emphasis on human rights. So rights-based community building practices must be dealt with, so that we need to prepare for a local community system. So with this, ASEM members should have remain committed to building many communities. For example, Age Platform Europe has been carrying out many projects, and Help Age Club, and there are so many community building projects in Korea, and I hope such cases could be shared with ASEM countries. And when it comes to solution to these issues, we have seen the elderly as the beneficiary of such programs, but we need to focus on human rights and human rights of the elderly. We need to respect their rights, and the countries should create dedicated department for dealing with these elderly issues. And I hope such a foundation could be laid through today's forum and going forward. I hope the elderly in the ASEM and cooperation with other organizations should be strengthened going forward. So once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to today's event, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Executive Ji, for your remarks. As she have mentioned, the AGAC has been focused on promoting the rights of the older persons, and this forum is a big pillar of those efforts, bringing the diverse stakeholders together for discussions. So let us enhance the quality of life by promoting the mental and emotional health of older persons. Next, we have the Chairperson Song Doo-Hwan of National Human Rights Commission, who has sent us a congratulatory video. So let's take a look through the screen.
안녕하십니까. 국가인권위원회 위원장 송두환입니다. 제2차 아셈 노인인권 현실과 대안 포럼의 개최를 진심으로 축하드립니다. 오늘 이 자리를 마련해 주신 아셈 노인인권정책센터 지은희 원장님과 모든 관계자 여러분들의 노고에 감사의 인사를 드립니다. 바쁘신 일정에도 불구하고 포럼에 참여해 주신 존경하는 김상희 의원님, 마리아 카스티요 페르난데스 주한 유럽연합 대표부 대사님을 비롯하여 아셈 회원국 정부 관계자, 학계, 시민사회단체 활동가 여러분 모두 반갑습니다. 코로나19 재난 상황이 종식되지 않은 가운데 우리는 인간의 존엄성이라는 소중한 가치를 되새기며 살아가고 있습니다. 전 세계 모든 사람이 힘겨운 시기를 감내하고 있지만 특히 노인의 경우 사회적 거리 두기로 인하여 외로움이 가중되고 돌봄 공백이 발생함에 따라서 다른 연령대에 비하여 더욱 힘겹고 절박한 시기를 보내고 있습니다. 이처럼 코로나19 위협은 노인의 취약성을 더욱 심화시키고 있고 최근의 상황은 그것을 선명하게 보여주고 있습니다. 연일 발표되는 확진자와 사망자 수, 그리고 치명률이라는 숫자 속에는 우리 주변의 노인과 가족, 이웃의 소중한 삶이 훼손되고 있는 현실이 반영되어 있습니다. 기후위기 역시 모든 사람, 그 중에서도 노인의 생명과 생활을 위협하고 있습니다. 얼마 전 한국에서는 폭우로 인하여 반지하에 거주하던 분과 장애인을 돌보던 가족, 노인이 목숨을 잃었습니다. 기후 위기로 인한 어려움은 이미 재난에 취약한 노인의 고통과 희생을 가중시키고 있으며 앞으로 이러한 경향은 더욱 심화될 것임을 쉽게 짐작할 수 있습니다. 내외 귀빈 여러분, 우리가 코로나19의 종식과 치유, 기후위기라는 숙제를 풀어가기 위해서는 인류의 보편적 가치인 인권에 기반하여 세계 모든 국가들과 국제기구, 시민사회단체가 협력하고 연대해야 할 것입니다. 대한민국 국가인권위원회도 모든 사람의 기본적 인권 보호와 증진을 위한 책무를 충실히 이행하고 국제기구 및 인권기구 등과의 협력을 적극 수행하겠습니다. 최근 국가인권위원회는 세계 국가인권기구 연합 고령화 실무그룹 의장기구로서 유엔의 새로운 인권조약인 노인권리협약 성안에 기여하고자 추진단을 꾸려서 초안을 마련하고 있습니다. 이 초안은 국가인권기구와 정부, 국제기구, 시민사회 활동가 및 학계 연구자 등 인권 공동체 핵심 관계자들이 참여하는 국제회의에서 논의한 후 국가인권기구들의 회람을 거쳐 유엔에 제출할 예정입니다. 이러한 맥락에서 아셈 노인인권 현실과 대안 포럼의 개최는 국제사회의 협력을 도모하는 데 꼭 필요한 공론의 장이라고 생각합니다. 아무쪼록 여러분이 적극적인 참여와 의견 개진을 통하여 노인의 정신적, 정서적 건강을 증진하기 위한 다양한 방안들이 제시될 수 있기를 희망합니다. 끝으로 오늘 포럼에 함께 해주신 분들께 다시 한번 감사의 말씀을 드리며 모두 건강하시기를 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for sending your remarks. As he have mentioned, let us propose a lot of fresh ideas in order to enhance the mental and the emotional health of the older persons. And next, our congratulatory speech will be delivered by Ambassador Maria Castillo Fernandez from the Delegation of European Union to Korea. While Her Excellency was to attend this forum in person, however, she was tested positive of the COVID-19 that she was not able to attend. But today she will deliver her remarks through the Zoom platform. So are we on Connect with her?
Good morning to all. A very good morning, and very sorry I cannot be with all of you today. As has been said, I got COVID, so I am at home, and that's why my voice is not, and my face is not as good as normal. So, but I was very keen to be part of this ASEM forum. You know well, this is the third time I participate, and this is very high on the agenda, the human rights of elderly people in the European agenda. So I wanted to make the effort to be with you at least a short time to open this forum. I really think the work that you do as ASEM Global Aging Center is key to maintain this very high on the agenda, to raise awareness, to share practice. And of course, this cannot be done without the commitment and the dedication of many of you, and including my personal thanks to Executive Director Eun-Hee, which is always there pushing the whole process. And it's very important to have people like her dedicated to this work. This year you based yourself on the issue of mental and emotional well-being, especially for older people. You know, feeling like I feel today at home, and the consequence of COVID, I can realize more and more how difficult it is, and how difficult it has been. The lockdowns, the situation, the infections. We are still living the aftermath of all of this with growing tension around the world in many areas, and that creates a lot of anxiety and exacerbated mental health risk. We saw in the statistics that you put in the video at the very beginning, but also in different studies, including the Lancet, that the prevalence of anxiety and depressive disorders has certainly increased in Europe for more than a quarter across the pandemic, in Korea as well, and in other ASEM countries as well. And the situation of older people is, as it's pointed out in your video, rates are much higher, and they are certainly more involved, and we need therefore to increase our efforts even more today. The situation of human rights of elder people is very high on the human rights agenda in Europe. We are really fully committed to protect these rights worldwide, and therefore the ASEM Forum is very important for us to be able, as a big platform, to maintain these human rights issues very high on our agenda. The rights to live in dignity, independence, to participate in social and cultural life are enshrined in Article 25 of the European Charter of Fundamental Rights. And we are working first to integrate and to mainstreaming issues related to demography, equality, age discrimination in all relevant EU policies. This is very important in our legislation, in our funding programs, and mental health is part of it. It has been on the rise in Europe as well as worldwide, and therefore we have created a space, the health policy platform, for health and social stakeholders organizations to exchange specific mental health practice and knowledge. And there is also a focus on the needs of vulnerable groups like older people. I don't know if ASEM networks have already connected with this platform, but that could be also one idea for you to consider. We are currently supporting around 7 million euros for more specific actions on mental health and human rights, and helping the people with depression. For example, there is a program where 10 European member states are working together to transfer evidence-based interventions to prevent suicidal behavior, which is particularly exacerbated with the health problems that are associated to the impacts of COVID-19. Another second action is what we call the implemental, where more than 21 countries are working together on an exemplary national suicide prevention program developed in Austria, along with reform of community-based mental health services that are developed in Belgium. These are just examples, but I think there are many in all the ASEAN countries that are here listening to us. Therefore, for me, very important that today, more than ever, I will say, the role of the ASEM Global Forum for Aging and the Aging Center that you have, it's more than ever important. The ideas that come, I take the idea that Executive Director Chi has mentioned of an independent department on human rights for elderly. This is very important. But more than ever, the role, the ideas, the network you create, and to be able to discuss it and to continue that discussion on a regular basis is very important. Slowly, step by step, but we need to keep this on the agenda. Many thanks, and I hope to see you also. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for sending your remarks. We truly hope that you will get well soon and hope to see you next year in person in the forum. And now, I think this would be the appropriate time to introduce some of our distinguished guests who are present in this room, who are always exerting their efforts to promote the rights of the elderly people. So, as your name is called, please stand and greet the others, and the participants who are seated down, please welcome each one of our distinguished guests with a big round of applause. So, first of all, let me introduce the National Assemblywoman of the Republic of Korea, Kim Sang-Hee. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much. And now we would like to also introduce other participants who are present in this room. And we have also the chairperson of ASEM Global Aging Center, Lee-Hae-kyung. Welcome, ma'am. And we're also joined by the family members of the National Human Rights Commission of Korea. So I would like to call all upon them to stand and be recognized for their presence. We have the Director General for Education Cooperation, Lee Seok-jun, Moon Eun-Hyun, Lee Dong-woo, Park Yu-kyung, and Oh Suk-kyung. Thank you very much for joining us today. They're all the members of the National Human Rights Commissions of Korea. And moving on, we're joined by the former Executive Director and current Special Advisor for ASEM Global Aging Center, current advisor, Im Hong-jae. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. Thank you. And moving on, we're also joined by the Professor Emeritus at Seoul National University, Special Advisor to ASEM Global Aging Center, Choi Sung-jae. And of course, we're also joined by President of Help Age Korea, Jo Hyun-se. And as for the last but not the least, we have the distinguished professor at Ewha Women's University, Eun-Hee. Thank you very much for joining us today. We know that we have a lot of participants joining us online as well, so thank you for your presence. Well, of course, there's many more to be introduced, but the time tells us to move on with the next on our agenda. We will be hearing another congratulatory remarks from Ms. Kim Sang-Hee, a member of the Foreign Affairs and Unification Committee of the National Assembly of Republic of Korea, who was also a former Deputy Chair of Presidential Committee on Aging Society and Population Policy and Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her with a big round of applause.
네, 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 대한민국 국회의원
My name is
김상희입니다.
Kim Sang-Hee, a member of National Assembly of Republic of Korea. Welcome all of you to 2022 ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Persons. From the first forum, I introduced myself as a Vice Speaker of the National Assembly, but it has been already 1 year. And since then, we have had some progress to deal with the COVID-19. And without a major incidents, we have been dealing with COVID-19 in a decent manner. It is now in a declining pattern of confirmed patients. However, we still have some severe cases, and daily about 50 people die. Over 70% of the dead are from the vulnerable groups, especially they are older persons. So the topic today is human rights and mental emotional health of older persons. We're gathered by some ASEM experts to discuss some mental emotional health issues around the globe. And we will also talk about some countermeasures to solve some loneliness and isolation issues of the older persons. It is a wonderful and meaningful event, and I would like to express my gratitude to Executive Director Eun-Hee and Chairperson Lee-Hae-kyung of the ASEM Global Aging Center, as well as Song Doo-Hwan, the Chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, and Madam Maria Castillo Fernandez. And I hope Madam Ambassador to get better from COVID-19. In particular,
노인인권정책센터의 지은위원장님께
my special thanks go to Executive Director Eun-Hee for her effort. Right now, over 65-year-old older persons is about 1.7 million people, and it's about 19.3% of the total populations. And that means that 1 out of 5 older persons live alone. And due to their social loneliness, they have some loneliness issues, isolation issues, and sometimes they die while being alone, and that's a severe issue. In 2005, Ministry of Health and Welfare conducted a survey on 1 million people about their living conditions. There are only 64% of the older persons who do fair and decent social activities. That means the rest of 37% do not have any social activities. So among them, there are about 16% of people who do not have any interaction with their family, or even if they have some interactions, they only have that once or twice a year. And over 24 people are under big pressure of mental and emotional issues. And some of them are going through severe depression. And a fair amount of people, especially older persons who live alone, are in danger. And these people living alone without any families go through poverty and aging, and they're more vulnerable to those issues. And due to the loneliness, their mental status is not in a good condition, and towards the end of their lives, they're not well taken care of. So they are exposed to very serious issue of death alone. In the past, all these older persons related issues had been solved under the framework of family. However, we now face a new type of challenges. This is not just the issues that individuals can handle, and now it is the responsibility for the government and the society who can take care of these issues. In April 2021, there has been an act established to deal with people dying from loneliness and isolation. And however, since then, we do not have any progress at the government level, and not many people have the first-hand experience from that newly established act. And there are many blind spots that we cannot cover to help these older persons, which is fairly regretful. Sometimes you feel that it is late, but it's the earliest time you can do something. That means that we have some older persons in their loneliness and isolation who we can still help with some countermeasures and the solutions that we can discuss through such forums like this. And I hope we can have a fruitful discussions today. And as a member of National Assembly, I would like to convey your discussion results from today to the National Assembly. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your remarks and also for hoping for this fruitful discussion along the forum, and also for saying that the National Assembly will advance with a lawmaking regarding the outcomes of the forum today and tomorrow. And now there are many distinguished guests who have taken their valuable time in order to be with us today. So once again, thank you very much for gracing our event with your presence. So we would like to spare the time to take a commemorative photo together. So may I ask all the distinguished guests who are seated to join us on the stage for a photo together. Thank you very much. Yes, we'll be welcoming all the distinguished guests to join us on the stage for the photo. Well, as the distinguished guests are coming up to the stage, I would like to ask our online participants to patiently wait for us as we take the photo. All the distinguished guests are welcomed on the stage for the photo. Yes, the ASEM Global Aging Center has put together this forum this year on the theme of human rights and the mental, emotional health of older persons. This forum will be an opportunity to pay a close attention to mental and emotional health of older adults. And let us now take a photo together. First, we are going to take the photo with wearing the mask. Let's wear the mask for the first photo. Yes, please stand still. And yes, those who wants to take off their name tags, you can do so. And let's face the main camera. And on the count of 3, let's take the photo. 1, 2, 3. If you smile big, it will be seen. And yes, of course, let us take one without the mask. Yes, may I ask the distinguished guest to take off the mask for the second photo. Let's take the photo without the mask so that we will be remembering all of our favorites on the photo. On the count of 3, once again, 1, 2, 3. Please put on your biggest smile for the bright future of the elderly people of the human rights. Thank you very much. Can we try to remove the mask from the photo? Yes, let us make sure that the mask is not seen. Yes, we want to have a perfect photo. So let us make sure that the mask is not seen. Maybe you can put it in the pocket. And let's take the photo once more. Since we have took a lot of photos, yes, once more. And now, why don't we show some affection towards raising human rights? So maybe a small heart. Yes. They say this is the K heart, Korean heart. So let us hope that the affection towards the rights for the elderly people will be going from Korea. So with this heart, we're going to end the photo session. Thank you very much for cooperation. And we are going to end the photo session here. And now we're going to welcome all the distinguished guests to be seated.